Hi, and welcome to another session of your power yoga practice. The surroundings look a little different, and that is because we are in my living room, and because the area where I usually record classes is really bright and sunny right now because I'm recording this in the morning. So I figured you would be able to see me better in a different room of my house. So welcome to my living room. We are going to have a nice power yoga practice this morning. And so if you would, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and start in child's pose. Get started in child's pose. I know we usually start on our backs, but why not? Why not start in child's pose? Get comfortable with your big toes touching, your knees nice and wide, settle your hips back towards your heels, and your arms are reaching forward on the mat, palms down. Obviously, of course, if and only if that is a comfortable pose for you. Sometimes based on knee injuries that you may have had, that can be an uncomfortable pose for your knees. And so if child's pose is uncomfortable for your knees, or at least spending much time there, then just flip over onto your back and hug your knees to your chest, and maybe eventually start to pull the knees wide. And so that kind of mimics the hip opening posture that is child's pose. So child's pose or on your back with your knees pulled to your chest. And just begin in stillness and start to connect with your breath here. And so start with some inhales and exhales. Without changing it first, just notice how your breath is feeling, how your body is feeling, and what comes up for you. Start to observe. Get really curious about how you are feeling today. Pull that breath into the belly and let it go through the belly. And now start to deepen the breath, lengthen, allow more air, more volume, more time as you move through these inhales and exhales. And now maintaining this long, slow breath. Don't change your breath just because you're going to start moving, but keep that long, slow, controlled breath. We're going to start to move from child's pose to tabletop. That's it. So inhale up to tabletop and exhale to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale to child's pose. Tabletop, inhale. Child's pose, exhale. Forward, backward with your breath. And now if you would, continuing this breathing pattern, forward, backward from child's pose to tabletop, start to introduce maybe some movement in the upper back. So as you draw it forward on the inhale, maybe round the spine, and as you draw it back on the exhale, maybe arch the spine. And it's up to you if you want to still press back to child's pose, or if you just want to make this a forward, backward rocking here in tabletop. Follow your breath. Inhale as you draw it forward. Exhale as you round it back. And now come back to a neutral spine and start to gently right to left, lean one shoulder toward the hip, shoulder toward the hip. Start to relax into your side body here. And now from tabletop, find stillness here and pick up the right heel, press it back behind you. And now pick up the left arm, reach the arm and heel. So find length from your heel to your fingertips. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, draw the elbow to the knee. Inhale, reach, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach, extend. Last time. Exhale to the earth. Other side, pick up the left leg, press the heel back behind you, and pick up the right arm, reaching the fingertips forward. Take the inhale. Elbow to knee on the exhale. Inhale to extend. Maintain that tension in the low belly to keep a nice flat back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Tabletop, exhale. So looking at your hands here, I want you to walk your hands around until the fronts of the insides of the forearms are facing forward. So the idea, if you missed that, the idea is that you're just walking the hands in a circle on the mat so the palms are still on the mat, but the insides of the forearms are facing forward. Now go ahead and walk them back forward and see how far in the other direction toward one another you can flip them around in an internal rotation. All right, now take the body weight off the hands and flip onto the backs of the hands now. And so the backs of your hands are on the earth with the fingers pointing toward the knees. This might be a new sensation for you depending on how you stretch your wrists. Now roll your body weight back onto the knuckles here, the backs of the hands, and just kind of roll the knuckles into the mat. All right, press the palms into the earth, curl the toes under, take an inhale. And on the exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips, take it back to downward facing dog. And start to pedal the feet, right, left, right, left. Press one heel, then the other into the earth. And as you start to open up the backs of the legs, really bend into the knees, maybe get a nice wiggle with it from through the hips and the shoulders. So lots of movement here in downward facing dog. Explore that rotation all the way up and down the length of the body. All right, inhale, take it forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take a similar flow to that child's pose and tabletop flow, but this time maybe it's up-leveled a little bit. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank, and this time we're going to turn up the heat. We're going to lower on a 3 count. So we're going to take a slow lowering reverse push-up. So starting from the high plank, take an inhale, and we're going to lower for 3, 2, 1. Nice, that wasn't so bad. Inhale, cobra, just peel the chest and shoulders off the mat. Exhale, chin back down. 3 cobras. Inhale. Exhale. Third one, inhale. Exhale. And just for a moment, press the forearms into the earth. Bring the elbows beneath the shoulders and just hang out here in Sphinx pose for a few breaths. It's a nice supported, gentle back bend for the upper back. So think about squeezing the shoulder blades together behind the back, drawing the sternum forward in between the upper arms. Gaze is forward, neck is long. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, press the palms into the earth, curl the toes under, and take it back to downward facing dog. All right, let's take it through that sequence one more time. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. So after 3 of those, inhale forward to plank. Take an inhale, fire up the core, and exhale to lower for 3, 2, 1. Chest touches, thighs touches, uncurl the toes. 3 cobras. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin back down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin back down. Third time, inhale, cobra. Exhale, chin back down. And then press it up to Sphinx pose for 3 full rounds of breath. Think about particularly drawing the sternum forward between the shoulder blades. And if you don't feel this in the upper back, maybe think about taking a soft tuck under with the tailbone to activate the low belly. After the third breath, press the palms back into the earth, curl the toes under to prepare, and press it back to downward facing dog. All right, looking back at the feet, step the feet pretty wide and walk the hands back toward the feet, starting to warm up the inner thighs here. So just with the hands grounded into the earth, just try bending the knees to the right, to the left. Should get a nice little release in the low back here. And as you kind of sink into this right to left bending, you might also sink the hips into it, start to bend the knees, and then maybe start to sink down into your first squat of the day. Keep that right to left movement, that rocking back and forth from heel to heel. So you're picking one heel up and the other heel up, kind of warming up the feet, the toes, and gently getting into this low squat here for a moment. All right, bring the elbows inside the knees, press the palms together. Find some nice height through the chest, tall through the crown of the head. And let's take a few breaths here in this low squat here at the beginning of your practice. Release the hands to the earth. Take an inhale at the bottom of the squat. Exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips, the head goes low. Let's do 3 of these. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Walk the hands forward to plank. And we're going to stabilize here at this high plank here for a moment. And then press the left hand into the earth, reach the right fingertips to the sky, open up into a right side plank. Maybe your gaze goes up. Bring it back to a high plank, and let's do the same thing on the other side. Stabilize into the right hand, reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. Left side plank. Back to a high plank. We're going to go 2 more times each side plank. Reach the right fingertips to the sky. Move with control. We're not spending a lot of time in these side planks, but we're just rotating from right to left, stabilizing into it. That's the second one. Let's do a third one each side. Reach the right fingertips to the sky. And back to high plank, back to center. Left fingertips to the sky. And back to high plank. Now let's reverse that walk with our hands, walking the hands back to downward facing dog and then toward the feet at the back of the mat. If you brought your feet together, go ahead and heel toe them wide again. We're going to move through that same sequence from the squat, the breathing, the squat to flow, and then the high plank into the side planks. Here we go. So the feet are squat distance, maybe even wider. Heels are on the earth. Exhaling in the fold. Inhaling into the squat. Drop the hips low. Heels are on the earth. Exhale into the fold. Inhale into the squat. Exhale into the fold. Last time, inhale into the squat. Exhale into the fold. walk the hands forward to plank. And we're going to flow right to left side plank 3 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. To the right, inhale. Exhale. To the left, inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Last side, inhale. And exhale. Walk the hands back toward the feet, toward the back of the mat. And this time with your feet nice and wide, take a soft bend in the knees. Hook the hands into the elbows and gently sway side to side. Releasing those muscles down the low back. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. All right, release the hands, heel toe the feet together, and we're going to take it through a little series of chair pose. So on the bend the knees, keep the heels on the earth, and now on the inhale, bring the arms overhead. Here you are at the back of the mat in chair pose. So it's like you're trying to sit down in a chair that you just can't quite get to. Bringing the arms overhead, really active in the upper back. Take an inhale. And exhale, come all the way up to standing. Bring your hands to heart center. Let's do a few more of those. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time, inhale, chair pose. And exhale, hands to heart center. Release the hands down by your sides. Flip the palms forward. So here you are in mountain pose. Step your feet mat width apart, or actually even wider. Here we're going to take a wide horse pose. So bend the knees, bring the hands onto the knees. And just for this first horse pose, you're just going to drop one shoulder then the other, starting to warm into the inner thighs here. So horse pose, I find, is really most beneficial when you really plant your body weight on your hands, right? And so as you are planting the weight of your upper body on your hands, you're using that weight to press the knees wide and getting into your inner thighs here. And then just while you're getting that nice stretch in the inner thighs, you're also getting some rotation in the upper back as you drop one shoulder then the other. It feels really nice. All right, come back up to standing, back at the back of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk the hands out to plank. Take it through a flow. Lowering with the exhale. Back bend with the inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Glance up at the hands, walk your feet forward to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Let's take it through 2 complete sun salutations, just from the standing position through downward facing dog on the vinyasa flow, and then back up to our standing position at the top of the mat. Here we go. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it through a flow. Two breaths in downward facing dog. At the end of that exhale, walk, step or float your feet top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Another full sun salutation. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it through a flow. Glance up at the hands, walk, step, or float your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. We're going to add some lunges to it. Here we go. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth. Take it through a flow. And you always have the option, of course, to add push-ups, to add upward facing dog, to add anything extra to your vinyasa flow that you like. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through outside the right pinky here first and start with some little knee circles here in this low lunge. So just find some movement here in this right knee. Maybe you might start to bend and straighten it into a supported pyramid pose. You might also start to get some lateral movement right to left, getting into an external rotation here for the hip. Or, of course, if you're perhaps feeling a little bit more grounded, a little bit slower, you might lower the back knee to the earth here and have a more stable low lunge and just explore also perhaps a stretch in that left hip flexor. So just take some organic movement here for that right hip in this lunging position. Press the palms into the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Left side, inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through outside the left pinky, and same thing, explore some hip movement here in this low lunge on the left side. Nice deep breaths. And once you've had a nice set of movement here on the left side, curl the toes under, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Glance up at the hands, walk, step or float your feet, top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, let's start to work on our balance just a little bit. And so we started to warm up our hips, and so we're going to keep that theme going with some hip movement, but while balancing, just to make things a little bit more challenging and also to kind of work on our body awareness. All right, so shift all of your body weight to your right foot and bring the right or left foot and bring the right knee up in line with the hip, and just with a light hold on your knee, just start to take some little knee circles here while you're standing. All right, and so a little bit of a challenge while you're here standing on one leg. And if you're feeling pretty good about it, then you might grab hold of your foot in one hand, your knee in the other, and maybe take some rotations to the right, to the left. As you know, something that helps maintain balance is if you pick one point on the floor that's not moving. All right, go ahead and release that right leg down onto the earth, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So shift your body weight to your right leg, pick up the left knee, and just start to explore a little bit of movement here, standing on one leg. And if that's feeling pretty good, you might try getting an external rotation there in the hip. So you're holding onto the foot with the right hand and supporting the knee with the left hand. And maybe taking some right to left, up and down. All right, go ahead and come back up to standing. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Let's take it through a dancing warrior flow. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Find your balance here and rise for crescent lunge. Back heel is lifted. Elbows are straight, palms facing each other. Have your hips square with the front of the mat. Inhale as you reach the arms overhead. Spin the back heel down and exhale. Bring your arms into warrior two. So the front knee is over the front ankle. A little stretch in the inner thigh here. Flip the right palm up, reach forward toward the front of the mat, and exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Side angle on the exhale. Take an inhale. Exhale, big circle, left hand to the mat, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Left side, inhale, lift the left leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Find your balance as you inhale, rise for crescent lunge. Soft bend in the back knee. Exhale, warrior two. So the front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. The shoulders or the arms are in line with the shoulders. Gaze is forward, neck is long. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Gaze goes up. Find that side bend on the left side. Inhale, back to warrior two. Side angle on the exhale. Maybe find the earth, or you might bring your elbow to your knee for this first side angle. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, big circle with the right hand. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. At the end of that exhale, glance up at the hands. Walk, step, or float your feet top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, we're going to take it through that same dancing warrior flow with the added side angle, moving breath to movement. I think we'll go through one time, and then maybe we'll hit child's pose for a moment, just for a break, and then we'll go through again, really just flowing our breath to our movement here. All right, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth. Take it through a flow. Two breaths in downward facing dog. Complete inhales, complete exhales. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior two on the exhale. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, reverse warrior. Keep that knee bend. Inhale, back to warrior two. Side angle on the exhale. Stay for the inhale. And move through that big circle to the earth. Step it back to plank. Follow your breath. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Inhale for Crescent Lunge. Warrior Two on the exhale. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, reverse warrior gaze goes up. Inhale, back to Warrior Two. Exhale, side angle. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, circle the hand to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Two long, slow breaths. Pause in child's pose just for a moment. We're not going to take a lot of time here, but this is a great opportunity to take some body weight off the shoulders and just to breathe, reconnect with your breath. You might also take it back to a kneeling position. Notice the movement, the energy in your body. Notice where perhaps you still need to send some openness. Notice where you might benefit from exploring that space. Where are you still gripping? Where are you still guarding? And maybe that's where you can pay some special attention during this next sequence here. We're going to go through that same series, pretty familiar by this point, that dancing warrior flow. Curl the toes under, take it back to downward facing dog. Right into it. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior Two on the exhale. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior gaze goes up. Inhale, Warrior Two. Exhale, circle the hands, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Two breaths. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior Two on the exhale. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, back to Warrior Two. Side angle on the exhale. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, circle the hands, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. And glance back at your feet. Step your feet mat width apart or wider and sink back to a low squat here at the back of the mat. Hook the elbows into the knees, palms at heart center. And perhaps notice even just a little bit more openness in this squatting position here in your hips. To the point that I have something kind of fun for you to try. In this low squat, can you, maintaining stability with one leg, can you drop one knee down to the earth and then pick it back up? Can you drop the other knee down to the earth and then pick it back up? And so what we're practicing here is some internal rotation while we're in this deep squat here. So can you try here? I'll just show you from the side too, just in case you can't see me from the side. Drop one knee down, pick it up, drop the other, I guess it's the shin down, And so it takes a lot of control, a lot of flexibility here in the bottom of the squat. So maybe give that a try. And after you've done a couple of those, have a seat for a moment. It just seems so very appropriate to just give your legs a little bit of a shake. After doing some internal and external rotation, I kind of like to take the body weight off the legs and just kind of rotate them in their sockets there. Right to left, right to left. Cool. All right, bring it back around to downward facing dog, any way that's comfortable for you. Glance up at the hands, walk, step or float your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Shift your body weight to your left leg and bring the right knee up in line with the hip again. So just lightly rest your hands on your knee. So you're supporting your right leg with the hands. Start by just checking in with your standing leg. And now release the knee. Have your hands down by your sides. And have the front knee in line with the hip. The right foot is flexed. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, round the upper body down over that right leg. And so I want you to interlace your fingers around the sole of that right foot. So this in and of itself might be kind of an intense stretch for the low back. And also the fact that you are doing it while standing on one leg makes it particularly challenging. This might be as far as you go. This is as far as I am going to go today. If you're feeling pretty good about this, and you already do a standing forehead to knee, go ahead and go there, kicking that right foot forward into the standing forehead to knee. But this is where I'm going to stay. The standing leg is locked out, lifting up on the kneecap. And then on the next inhale, come on out of it the way you came into it with control, and exhale everything down. Nice. That can be pretty intense on the standing hamstring there. Shift all of your body weight to your right leg, and pick up the left knee in line with the hip again. All right, so now it's the opposite leg. Standing leg is straight. Complete inhales, complete exhales. Just for a moment here, checking in with your balance, checking in with your standing leg. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, round the upper body down over that left leg this time. Can you interlace your hands around the sole of your foot? And so once again, this is a nice stretch for the low back and also very engaged because it's standing on one leg. And so the right leg is perfectly straight, lifting up on the kneecap, while the upper body is round down over the left leg. The left knee is in line with your left hip. Find your balance, maintain your breath. On the next inhale, come on out of it, and exhale everything down. Nice. Give your standing legs a little shake out. All right, from the top of the mat, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it through a flow. So now that we warmed up our hamstrings with that standing balancing pose, we're going to stretch them with a half split. So inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. And now for this first little set here, lower the back knee to the earth. And so the back knee is down as you inhale, bring the front knee over the front ankle, and exhale, excuse me, straighten up that right leg. Inhale as you bring the front knee forward. Exhale as you straighten up the right leg. Okay, once you've done a couple of these, if you're feeling pretty good about it, you might try curling the back toes under. And so you're taking the knee off the earth as you inhale forward into a lunge and exhale into more of a pyramid pose. Either way, your hands are on the earth, nice and grounded, and our focus is on that right hamstring here as you bend and then re-straighten the knee. All right, and then if you have the knee down, go ahead and pick the knee up off the earth. And then as you straighten that right leg, I want you to pivot toward the left side. And so have your feet parallel with one another. Your feet are on the earth and the legs are straight. And we're just hanging out here in a nice wide leg fold. The upper body is folded down over the legs. Hands are on the earth. Breathe into the inner thighs, the backs of the legs. And now from this wide leg fold, let's continue the rotation. Walk your hands over to the left foot there. So now you're facing the backwards on your mat, basically. And then with your hands, go ahead and lower the back knee to the earth for the first couple movements through that half split. So as you bring the front knee over the front ankle, and as you exhale into that straight hamstring, forward, backward, kind of explore that left hamstring mobility. And if that's feeling pretty good, then you might try curling the back toes under and moving forward and back with a straight leg. Breathe into that left hamstring. All right, now go ahead and re-pivot on the feet. Come back to that wide leg fold with your feet parallel, your legs straight. And sink into the stretch for the inner thighs once more. Draw your forehead toward the earth with every exhale. Let's take a twist here in this wide leg fold. So plant the left hand beneath the face. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up toward the sky. Here, I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing with my upper body. So left hand is on the earth, right fingertips toward the sky. And then you might find that wrap around the backside waist. Inhale, reach the right fingertips back toward the sky. Exhale, plant them on the earth. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Plant the right hand. Inhale, reach the left fingertips up. And maybe find that wrap around the backside waist on this side. Inhale, unwind. And exhale, back to center. Heel toe to feet together, and then come into a kneeling position here at the center of your mat for a moment. Lightly rest your hands on your knees, close your eyes for a moment. Sit up nice and straight, roll the shoulders back and down behind you. We're going to take some side bending stretches here. So bring the legs out into a seated wide leg fold now. And so you were doing a standing wide leg fold, but now you don't have to worry about standing upright. You can sit your legs nice and wide. All right, and we're going to start with a nice fairly gentle side stretch here. I'll mirror you, plant the right hand alongside the right leg and reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. And don't start by cranking into your deepest possible depth. We're actually going to do 2 sets of this on each side. And so this is just the first one. So just start to feel it out. Reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. This is really more about length anyway. And so maybe start by, rather than seeing how far you can side bend, can you see how far you can reach toward the sky, reaching from the waist here for this first side opening stretch. And then slowly release. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Plant the left hand, reach the right fingertips up toward the sky. Find length for this first set here on this side. And slowly release. And just to give your legs a little bit of a break, go ahead and bend the knees and bring the soles of your feet together, coming into butterfly. One set of butterfly here. Just hang out. We're going to do a butterfly after each of our wide leg side bending stretches. And so, again, this is the first butterfly. So have this be, once again, more about length rather than finding any sort of depth here. And so you might not even fold forward over the legs. You might just more think about finding a lot of height through the crown of the head and maybe hinging forward at the hips slightly. All right, slowly release. Legs are out straight again, nice and wide. Now this is our second set for our side-to-side stretching. So again, plant the right hand alongside the right leg, reach the left fingertips up toward the sky. And this time, yes, find height toward the sky, but also maybe relax into that nice long side stretch. And if your arm ever gets tired from having it overhead, you can just plant it behind your neck and still keep the elbow pointed up toward the sky, and that will maintain the integrity of the movement in the lateral plane that you want here. You never want to twist because that just sacrifices the side bending stretch. Slowly release. Nice, and let's do the same thing on the other side. Plant the left hand, reach the right fingertips up toward the sky, and find that nice long side bend. And if you did so on the other side, you might drop the hand behind the head, pointing the elbow up toward the sky. Slowly release. Back to a setup butterfly here. Bring the soles of your feet together. And this time, since it's our second butterfly, yes, find height through the crown of the head, but also hinge forward over the legs to the degree that you find that stretch in the inner thighs. If you've got a friend nearby, sometimes it's particularly helpful if they'll press down on the knees for you, helping you out with your inner thigh stretch here. And slowly release back up to seated. Bring the legs around in front of you. Lie down on your back. And hug the right knee to the chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, draw that right leg across the body to the left as your gaze goes out to the right. Find a spinal twist here. On the next inhale, bring it back to center. Gently hug the knees to the chest. Roll side to side. And release the right leg down onto the earth as you hug the left knee to the chest. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, draw the leg across the body to the right as the gaze goes out to the left. On the next inhale, bring it back to center. One last time, hug the knees to the chest. Take an inhale. And exhale, slowly release your arms and legs into your final resting pose, whatever that looks like for you. Might be on your back, might be on your side, might be on your belly, knees straight, knees bent. Just take whatever shape feels most relaxing to you today. Shavasana. Slowly begin to reawaken the body. Wiggle the fingers, the toes, roll out the wrists, the ankles. Reach the arms overhead toward the back. Point the toes toward the front. Take a deep breath and a full body stretch from fingers to toes and everything in between. And then on the exhale, roll over to the right side. And slowly press the earth away. Make your way back up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Lightly rest your hands on your knees when you get there. Just for a moment, find some stillness. Notice the changes that you've brought about as a result of your breath, your movement, and your attention. On the next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.